These videos that I'm making, they're all fake. So I'm not actually mentally unsound. And for anyone who doesn't understand that I'm acting in these other videos, well, I can't help you. I can't make you smart. You can't fix stupid. It's obvious.
Just a robot. Onision is arguably the most hated person on the internet. The only person who I can even think of that is even more hated than Onision is the CWC himself. But even then, people seem to hate the CWC less and less as time goes on, and most people who talk about them seem to have more of a strange fascination with them than hatred. In the first Q&A I ever did on my old channel, I was asked the question, who was the YouTuber I hate the most? And I said it was Onision. Our first comment comes from Mr. 69 himself. Which YouTuber do you hate the most? Probably Onision. He's such an arrogant asshole who's full of himself. That was over 3 years ago. I hated him a lot back then, but I hate him far more now. And I'm definitely not the only one who feels that way. Onision is so hated, if pretty much anyone on YouTube does a video on him, that video will get a lot more views and a lot more likes than most of their videos. Now, I've been wanting to do a video on Onision for a very long time. I wanted to do a full documentary on him. But every time I try to catalog things Onision has done, dig up dirt on him, or create a timeline of all the things that have happened, people would just dig up something else Onision has done in the past. Or Onision would find himself in a new stupid situation. So I decided I'm not going to make a documentary on Onision until this whole thing with him is over. Say what you will about Christian, but at least he took long breaks from doing stupid stuff. With Onision, it just never ends. And now I realize that this whole situation with Onision may never end. But I need to make a video on him because I want money, and I want it now. So maybe I could cover one of his videos, but which one? It's hard to choose, there's just so many. And even if I do pick a video of his to cover, plenty of other people will cover that exact same video before I even have a chance to start on mine. But then it hit me. I can answer a question that a lot of people have been asking. Why hasn't Onision been arrested yet? Well, the answer is obvious. It's because he's not black.
Say what?
Okay, in all seriousness, it's because a lot of the things Onision is hated for are not illegal. And most of the illegal stuff Onision has done is not that illegal. But for the really illegal stuff he has done, well, we'll talk about that at the end. So before pretty much anyone knew anything about Onision's illegal mishaps, people hated him for being arrogant and stupid. For example, take the very first video of Onision's that I have ever seen. A video where he was complaining about women who were against feminism.
For all we know, women would literally be treated like cattle without feminists. Is this how you want to look? You want to be walking around the streets with only a little bit of skin showing? You really want to be treated like property? You want to be born into this world destined to be sold off to the highest bidder? Is that really what you want?
Yeah, guys, remember when Sharia law was a huge deal in America and it was all over the place? Oh wait, you don't? Me neither. Now, as frustrating as this is, being arrogant and stupid is not illegal. If it was, Timos Boss would be in jail. Oh, and by the way, Onision and Timos Boss are from the same state. But, what about the whole situation between him and Blaire White? Where Onision got several underage girls to send him pictures of themselves in underwear. Well, the thing is, he didn't specifically ask underage girls to do it. And just because you find an underage girl attractive, it doesn't make it illegal. Now, I'm not trying to defend what he did or say it isn't creepy. I'm just saying in the eyes of the law, it's no big deal. The FBI constantly ignore people who look at actual cheese pizza. For those of you who don't know, cheese pizza is code for CP, which stands for child, well, you know. Again, I want to be very clear. I'm not trying to defend Onision's action, but the police have a lot more bigger things to deal with. It's kind of like how weed is a felony in several states, but police care more about the dealer than the guy smoking it. But what about that time he destroyed a bunch of wetlands behind his property? Well, it is illegal, but not that illegal. Just a fine and maybe some community service, and that's it. And of course, there's so many small illegal things Onision has done, but if we went through all of them, we would be here all day. Now, Onision has had many relationships with many different women, but the relationship that bit him in the ass the most was his relationship with Sarah. When she came forward, she revealed that Onision and Kai were grooming her since she was 16 years old.
Looking back, did they groom you during this period of time in order to get you to go visit them?
I know for a fact, not during the period of time before I came up, because I didn't talk to Greg really until I met him the first time, but the time between me meeting him for the first time and me turning 18 was definitely him grooming me.
Unfortunately, in the United States of America, the age of consent can range from 16 to 18 depending on where you are. And allegedly, when they were finally starting to bump uglies, she was above the age of 18. There was another person who accused Onision of sleeping with her when she was 17.
He made his way to PA. When he got there, he got his own hotel room. I can't remember why. I think it had to do with my mom. Yeah, he stayed in a different hotel room. He got the hotel to let me in to his room. And when he showed up, he started kissing me immediately. And we slept together within like 5 minutes.
But one, this is an accusation, and two, they were in an area where the age consent was 17, so it still was legal. But just because it's legal, it doesn't mean it isn't creepy. I think Blaire White said it best herself.
So is it illegal? Technically, no. Is it creepy, manipulative, disturbing, and predatory to take a girl who is 15, 16 years old, going through family troubles, move them in, and then groom them from that age until 18, and then be intimate with them 4 days after she turns 18? Yes, absolutely.
Onision's entire channel was almost made to be reacted to by people like me. He does terrible things, he does stupid things, he acts crazy. And worst of all, he does things that are borderline illegal, but they're just legal enough for him to get away. And on top of everything, Onision is quite wealthy. It's a fact that people who are rich can get away with a lot more things than people who are poor. Rich people can pay off fines much more easily, and of course, they can hire lawyers. So with everything I have said, is there no hope? Will Onision get away with everything and continue to be the biggest menace on YouTube? Well, the good news is there is a lot of hope. For one thing, Onision's Patreon got shut down. Without Patreon, he has far less money. Far less money means he can't pay off fines as easily, and as we can see when he tried to take Mr. Epsilon to court, he didn't even have a lawyer with him. Now, it might be because he couldn't afford one, but it also could be that he didn't find one that was short enough. Good God, Onision, I didn't know you were a part of the Lollipop Guild. And something I'm sure you're all aware about, Chris Hansen himself, or as I like to call him, Chris Handsome, is now investigating Onision. And Onision is definitely afraid of him. He even called the cops. I'm not joking.
911, what are you reporting?
Hi, there's a person who's been stalking me online and they just showed up to my house.
Okay, and they're outside now?
Yes, they're knocking on my door.
Okay. And do you know if they have any weapons?
They have a bunch of camera people, like they're YouTube stalkers.
Okay. But no weapons seen?
I didn't see any weapons. I just saw like 6 guys in my driveway and one of them is knocking on my door.
And the one that's knocking on your door, is he the main one that you said has been stalking you?
Yes, he's a stalker. He's yelling things at me through the door right now.
Okay, and do we know his name at all?
It's Chris Hansen.
Imagine working at a police station and you get a 911 call and you're asked the person who they're calling about and they tell you it's Chris Hansen. Just imagine the reaction on that woman's face. Now, Onision has gotten away with so much for such a long time, but at long last the walls are closing in. He's making less money, he has less people who are willing to defend him. He's probably getting less sleep, which will increase his chances of making a mistake. And now, thanks to Chris Hansen, he's in the mainstream. It doesn't really matter how much social media talks about someone, YouTube won't do anything about it. But if the mainstream has a problem, that will get their attention. And if YouTube deletes Onision's YouTube channels, well, that's it for him. He already lost his Patreon, so he won't be able to get money from that. No company in their right mind would hire him. Even if he doesn't get sent to jail, there's more than one way to make him suffer for his actions. Now, before I end this video off, I just got a few more things I need to say. Unfortunately, I'm getting less hours at work. While that does give me more free time to work on videos, it also means I'm going to be making less money. So I hate to do this, but I'm going to try to figure out how I can get sponsored on YouTube. I heard there's some contract signing and other stuff like that, but I did my research and I'm not going to be sponsoring the really bad companies. Cough cough, Raid Shadow Legends, cough cough, hashtag not sponsored. I'm not going to do it right away, these things do take time, but I just wanted to give you guys a heads up. My eyes have seen the glory of the cleansing of YouTube, debunking SJWs and feminazis too. We criticize reactionists in hopes they get the boot. Just the robot marches on.
I love being a graceful loser. I love it a whole lot more than being a graceful winner. Because when I'm a graceful loser, not only am I happy with myself for having enjoyed the game for what it was, but I'm happy that this other person is enjoying their victory. That this other person is feeling good about themselves because of what just occurred.